Thanks for joining us in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. And we're in our unbelievable studios, as always, here, First Star Logistics. And today we caught up with Tycen Anderson. This is a kid that is an explosive athlete, one of these quick twitch guys. Ran a 4.36 40. Safety running a 4.36 40. But in high school, football, basketball, track and field, a three-time captain at Toledo. First time in the history of the school, history of the program. So obviously he's got the intangibles, the leadership qualities, the leadership skills. And boy, he's excited to be a member of the Cincinnati Bengals and competing in the AFC North against his beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Respect the Steelers, but don't love the Steelers. Let's go sweep the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tycen Anderson, you're going to like this. Welcome once again to In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, and we have a very special guest today, Tycen Anderson, fifth-round selection out of Toledo. And the Bengals had a third-round grade on Tycen Anderson, and feel very, very good about this young man. And welcome to our podcast, video cast. Appreciate you carving time for us in this busy schedule as you transition to the National Football League. Appreciate you.
No doubt. It's good to be here. Good to be here.
We were just talking a little bit, and I remember this vividly. It's like, man, when you get drafted and you come to an NFL camp, language is the biggest thing. I mean, it's almost like you're speaking French, but you're in Germany, because in college they called it one thing. In the NFL, the same look is called something totally different. So one of my biggest challenges was unlearning and relearning, terminology and almost another whole new language. Is that what you're going through right now?
Yeah, that's literally exactly what I'm going through, as far as just the different formations and just different terminology of how we play certain coverage and how we play certain checks. In college, we call it, we call certain things, and here it's like, all right, I gotta think about it like that just so I can teach myself, but then I gotta remember it's different wording that they associate those things to.
Right. Yep. It's like, oh yeah, that is what we call this, and now I got to remember that that's this. It's like there's an extra step involved there.
For
but
sure.
Yeah, it comes though. It comes quickly. I know you're a smart guy. That's one of the first things that struck me about you as I was researching you a little bit. Valedictorian of your high school class, number one in your class.
No, yeah, I got it. So I was valedictorian. I went to a really good private high school, one of the best high schools, St. John. But I was valedictorian of my fifth grade graduating class at Martin Luther King.
Okay.
So I was valedictorian of that. I wasn't valedictorian of my high school. There was people there that got about 4.8 GPA. I was not that, but I did graduate with about a 3.4, 3.5. So
did you?
Yes, sir.
Well, so you're a smart guy, and I know in research and again a little bit, your grandmother is a big influence and big motivator for you. Tell us about what your grandmother taught you and why she was such a motivating force for you in terms of academics and intelligence.
Yeah, my nana, man, she's the GOAT, man. Some greatest of all time, man. She just a woman that I always just looked up to, and she couldn't continue her education. She didn't get her high school degree, but I watched her as a young kid try to get her GED, and just the effort and energy she put into getting it, and she came up short, and I just knew I wanted to further my education as far as I could for her, and she was always just a good push that always just reminded me of when it was times when we just had 6 a.m. workouts and I didn't want to go to class at 12:55, but I just always remember my nana. She didn't have the opportunity even to get a college education or high school education, so it just always just pushed me to want to just further my education as far as I could.
The fact that she stayed after it and wanted to get that GED, I'm sorry. So your undergraduate degree from the business school. What's your undergraduate degree in?
Professional sales.
Professional sales, and I know you're marketing and trying to get a degree in leadership.
Yeah, pretty much like organizational leadership.
Organizational leadership. Well, leadership comes pretty naturally to you as a athlete and a person. Three-time captain. Oof, that's That's got to be something that you got to be very, very proud of.
No, for sure, super proud of that. And this just, I mean, I always thought of myself as a leader, and I always went about certain situations. Even when I wasn't a captain, I always tried to lead, even when I wasn't a captain. So, just having my friends who I hang with every day, who look at me as the leader of our team, our group, it was a special feeling just to be a 3-time captain for sure. It was crazy.
That's unbelievable. As a sophomore, to have upperclassmen electing a sophomore as captain of the football, that's impressive. So the celebration after you were drafted, I think, speaks volumes about how you have influenced so many lives and how so many lives have influenced yours. I mean, I don't think I've seen a gathering like that celebrating somebody getting drafted in the National Football League. That was awesome.
No, yeah, everybody you seen there. I mean, they've been around since I was a little kid. Honestly, like a lot of my family friends, people I went to church with, some of my high school friends, still friends to this day. A lot of my UT bros was out there. My UT teammates was out there supporting me, and yeah, it was just family, friends, and that's really what it was. And I got a good little surrounding system, surrounding people around me for real.
So you ran a 4.36. That's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
You had a vertical jump of what, 35 and a half inches, I think it was, and broad jump of over 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And your 3-cone was just unbelievable. I mean, a crazy time. So you're not only one of these guys that can straight line speed, run fast, you can start, stop, sink your hips, change direction, get in and out of cuts. I mean, that's quite a package.
No, for sure. I mean, I was always, I kind of got taller as I got older, so I wasn't always 6'2". I was a natural kid growing up, 5'9", 5'10". I just kind of kept growing. So as a kid, I played defensive back, I played receiver, I played a little running back in Pee Wee. So I mean, I wasn't always as big, so I just naturally just kept those same tools as I got older and got bigger and faster.
The thing that strikes me about you is, like you said, 6'2", but length. I mean, you have long arms. And we just recently were speaking with Chris Collinsworth on our podcast here, and he was saying the one thing that used to bother him
Hmm.
was a corner that had long arms. And when he really extended that, that one arm for the one arm stab and trying
Hmm.
to reroute, he said that was a factor. That's something that you can't dismiss. Is that a big strength of yours, having those long arms? And once you get your hands on, I know you got very strong hands as well, and getting in that big wingspan. Is that a big asset of yours?
No, it's for sure a big asset. Just, I mean, and along with that, I mean, you got to have good footwork before you got good arms. Because I mean, you can have long arms all you want, but if your feet not in the right place to use those arms is a disservice. So first and foremost, your feet got to be moving. To any young DBs out there who got long arms, who tall, you got to work on your footwork before you just go out there just throwing punches at people. Because when you get older and start going against better receivers, if your feet dead, you go get touchdown scored on you.
You mentioned that you played wide receiver in high school as well as cornerback. You played some safety. You played some slot corner. The fact that you played wide receiver and had to learn routes and learn coverages, and then on the flip side of it, now you're defending. That sort of experience from an educational
Mm-hmm.
standpoint. How much did playing wide receiver, having played that position, help you transition as a defensive back in terms of seeing how guys, little tips they might have? Oh man, when he, flips his, when he makes this move, it's going to be a post. When he does this, it's going to be a corner, that type of thing. How much did your experience as a wide receiver help you get ready and perform at a higher level as a defensive back?
No, it for sure helped just because, I mean, it helped a lot in like one-on-one situations, knowing like how would I defeat myself if I was a receiver. So what move would I do, or how would I stem a certain route to win? How would I uh, use my inside leverage against him to win my one-on-one route as a receiver? So just thinking, I guess backwards, I guess you would say, is just, I mean, that's really what helps me, just the one-on-one matchups more so than just like the coverages and route concepts.
Yeah, I mean, to me, some of the numbers we're talking about, it's like you're an elite athlete and you got perfect size for the position. At St. John's High School, where you played your high school football. You also played basketball there. You also were a track and field star. I think you were third in the broad jump or long jump when you were junior in high school. I mean, you can run and jump. Take us through your high school career, not only as a football player, but how good were you on the hard floor, the court, and how good were you in the track and field aspect of it?
No, yeah. So basketball, I was pretty much a defender in basketball. I would guard the best player on the team. I like to say I was like the Draymond Green in my high school basketball team.
There you
I
go.
was a dude who was go do all the dirty work because we had dudes like Vincent Williams, who's in the NBA draft right now.
Yeah.
Dudes named Houston King, who played Division I. Harrison Reeves, who played Division II. We had a lot of dudes who were real basketball stars.
Yeah.
So I was just a football player who just came in and kind of did all the dirty work, rebounding, defending people. So that was kind of my role. I averaged 10 points, though. Don't forget that.
There you go.
I averaged 10 points, so I was doing my thing on the offensive end a little bit, too.
So you were a double machine then, probably, huh? 10 and
I probably was about 10 and 5, 10 and 6.
Okay.
And then guarding the best player. So, and then track, I was real good in track. Like I love track. If Toledo had a track team, like I would have took track a little bit more serious. So
what was what was your best in high school? What was your best in all the events that you competed in? Give us your best result. Give us your best time. Give us your best distance, your best height, all that sort of thing.
So I know my best 100 time was like just 11 flat, like 10.99. Like I just broke 11. And then 200, I can't remember. 400, I really never ran it. I ain't really like the 400.
That's a dog gut race there.
Yeah, that wasn't really my race for real. Coaches used to force me to do it. I had long legs, but that wasn't for me. But then high jump, long jump, that was my specialties though. High jumped 6'7".
Did you?
Yep. And then long jumped 23.5.5.
Wow. So when you got third in the state as a junior in high school, was that your best jump, or did you have your best?
The craziest thing, my junior year, I jumped 23.1, got third in the state. And then the following year, one of my closest friends on the team at UT is named Bryce Mitchell. He never ran track ever. He never ran track. He came out there his first year, won the state.
Wow.
He jumped 24.3. Never ran track a day in his life. He jumped 24.3. His name Bryce Mitchell. Freakest athlete I ever seen in my life for real. And then I PR'd and jumped 23.5.5 that day and got 5th in the state. So I don't know where them dudes came from. I don't know where they was at a year ago, but they came out of nowhere. But I still PR'd, so I was happy. But I'm like, how I PR and do worse? So I was sorry. At least I lost to one of my good friends, though.
I'll tell you, man, you guys had a lot of twitchy athletes, man. Some quick twitch guys jumping and running at down there in Toledo. That's crazy.
No, yeah, it was crazy.
That's nuts. So, what's the biggest life's lesson that you've learned from the game of football?
Biggest life's lesson, I probably say. Biggest life's lesson. I probably say just like relationships, understanding relationships and understanding how to deal with people. Like, cause being a captain, like I just learned like how to deal with people, how I address certain situations, or how I lead one person. I can't talk to him and get the best out of that person like I do that person. So just understanding different people and how different people think and how different people react to certain things. That's been one of the biggest takeaways for me.
Do you feel? I know Lou Anarumo is very, very creative, and he craves positionless players as such. Versatile athletes, a guy that can play, deep middle, and then can also go in the box and play slot corner, cover tight ends in certain packages. You seem to be that kind of guy. You seem to be that type of player that, hey, the more the merrier. Give me more responsibilities, give me more things that I can take part in. Are you looking forward to seeing how Lou Anarumo may use you in the back end of his defense?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, he can't get creative with me unless I learn the day one thing. So I gotta put my hard hat on and study my plays and learn what the free and strong safety do in this defense before he can even trust me to even get creative. So I gotta study my plays even more so I can earn that trust from him.
Do you feel like you could compete as an outside corner as well as a slot corner? Do you feel comfortable enough if he said, hey, go over there and cover that wideout, go press cover that guy or play off and play some corner for us over there?
No, for sure. I mean, with the right coding, our DB coach, Coach Burke, I feel like for sure I can go outside and play outside corner, and I truly feel like I can play anything in the back seven, any corner, nickel, safety. I feel comfortable playing it all, and I know with the right coaching, like our DBs are getting coached up on. I feel like I can play any position.
Watching some tape on you, some of the notes that I took: strong tackler, a hard hitter, excellent feet, fluid hips, body control, balance, can redirect, can break down, awareness, tough, determined player. I mean, you're impressive to watch on tape. When you were a young player, um, and thinking about dreaming about playing in the National Football League, were you a Bengals fan, a Browns fan, or a Steelers fan being in Toledo, Ohio?
I was a Steelers fan.
You were a Pittsburgh fan, were you? Yeah.
I was a Steelers fan.
So who is your favorite Steeler player?
My favorite Steeler got to be like Troy Polamalu, Big Ben, James Harrison,
Yeah,
to Santonio Holmes.
yeah. So we won't hold that against you. But how do you feel now? You're going to be playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers twice a year, division rival. You're in the
Hmm.
AFC North. I mean, when the Bengals drafted you, what was your first reaction?
My first reaction was one of my good friends, James Hudson. He played for the Browns, so he was at my draft party. So that was
Wow,
my initial reaction. Like, okay, we get to play each other twice a year. That was my initial reaction. But then just thinking about the whole Steelers matchup twice a year too. It's almost like a dream, to be honest. Like, wow, you grew up idolizing Mike Thomas, you grew up idolizing Big Ben, grew up idolizing all those players, and now you get to go against them. So it's kind of like it's a pretty cool dream for real.
so when you were growing up, what player did you have a favorite player? Did you say I want to try to take some of the traits, characteristics of this guy and incorporating that in my game? Did you have that type of player that you really looked up to and respected?
No, not really. I mean, like as a kid, I remember like being in little league and like seeing Troy Polamalu like jump over the line of scrimmage and tackle running backs or get a strip sack on like Joe Flacco. Um, so I tried to do that in little league and I got I got called off sides. So I for sure idolized him, but I really never really try to like model my game after anybody. I watch a lot of different players for real and kind of try to pick and mix and match what I like and what I don't like. But I just try to be the best Tycen Anderson, to be honest.
Sure, sure. What about mentors? Any mentors, any coaches, along the way at any level that really had a huge impact on you and your development and your desire to play football?
For sure, Brandon Carter, Coach Carter. Shout out to him. He the truth, man. He was one of my first trainers. He got Elite Athletics Academy in Toledo, one of the best training facilities, training programs in the city of Toledo. And he took me in when I was a freshman in high school, and we've been training ever since. So whenever I go back home, it's gonna be the same work that we've been getting in forever. So I can't wait to get back to him, get back working. And I know if there's any kids out there looking for trainers in the city of Toledo, Elite Athletics Academy for sure the place to be.
It's amazing. Three young defensive backs in this year's draft. The Bengals only had 6 draft picks. Three of those are defensive backs.
Hmm.
Two of them ran 4.38. You ran 4.36. Three young, fast defensive backs.
For
Uh,
sure.
you guys are. It's good to have somebody that you can kind of lean on. Uh,
Hmm.
and have 3 rookies, 3 young guys in that defensive backfield room. How good will that feel? Do you think?
No, it feel real good just being like not the only young dude in the room. So I know
Right.
me and Dax, we in the same room, the same safeties room. So me and him always like studying plays together. He'll call me if he got a question. I can call him if I got a question. we always watching film together and making sure we know what we got, know the install for the next day, and just bouncing ideas off each other for real. So
That's impressive that you say that because when we've been allowed in the locker room, I've seen you and Dax in the locker room, on your own, free time, sitting right next to each other with your iPad or whatever it may be, going over things, kind of like making sure both of you are on the same page. To me, that's pretty impressive that you got guys that are taking the bull by their horns on their own. I mean, it's not like the coaches are cracking the whip. You're saying, "Hey, this is my dream. This is my opportunity. I'm going to take full advantage of it." To see you guys doing that, pretty impressive.
no, yeah, he's Dax, man. He just a cool dude to be around. And for sure, glad to have him as a teammate, and can't wait to see what our relationship kind of continue to grow into.
So, how much? Lou Anarumo last year got a ton of credit and deserved credit for being very, very diverse with his defensive schematic. I mean, he ran a lot of different packages, and quite a few packages involved three safeties. He had three safety package out there quite often, and he likes athletic safeties. For that reason, obviously. How much of what you ran defensively from a schematic standpoint at Toledo you see as a potential carryover to what Coach Anarumo may have you do in the National Football League, or is it going to be all new horizon for you, all new stuff?
No, yeah, no, it won't be. It won't be New Horizon at all. 'Cause, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we run cover three, we run quarters, we run cover two, we run different mix and match zones, different fire pressures, different things like that. So we did kind of the same thing at Toledo, but I mean, obviously, just the biggest thing is just the lingo, honestly, because cover two is cover two, quarters is quarters. So it's all kind of the same thing as far as the football world. So we for sure did a lot of that stuff at Toledo, and I'm doing a lot of it here.
How many defensive coordinators did you work under at Toledo? How many new schemes as such or new terminology scenarios did you have to go through, or did you have the same coordinator all the way through?
We had two coordinators. So I had Brian George, my freshman through sophomore year, and freshman through junior year, and then Vince Karras came in after that, like my COVID year, my senior year. So my last two seasons.
So, what are you looking forward to most with your dream come true, being drafted into the National Football League? What are you looking forward to most? What is it that you can't wait to have happen?
I mean, as a DB, I mean, you can't wait to get your first pick. I can't wait to get my first forced fumble. I can't wait to get my first sack. Can't wait to get my first tackle. I just can't wait to do it. It's gonna be a lot of first things that I can't wait to do for real.
And congratulations on signing that first NFL contract. I remember when I signed, I was so excited I could barely hold the pen straight. I was excited. Wasn't nervous. It was just like I can't believe this is like a dream come true. I had to kind of steady my hand to sign that bad boy. What,
No,
what what was it like for you?
no, that was for sure. I couldn't stop smiling. Honestly, I mean, all the hard work that you put in as just those years, it's finally your dream came true. And I know it's a lot more work to do. It's a lot more things I want to do in this game. But that was for sure just a surreal moment. And when I got home, I just called my mom, called my dad, and told them like, "Yo, I signed it. Like it happened."
It's the real thing. So when the Bengals went on the run that they run on and get in the playoffs and get hot and start playing
Mhm.
their best football at the most opportune time, did they catch your eye? I mean, were you following the Bengals? And
No,
when you get drafted by the Bengals after them playing in Super Bowl 56, were you pretty excited?
no, yeah, I was for sure excited. I mean, being from Ohio, like I mean, once they start making a run and my Steelers wasn't in it, I was for sure like, all right, let's see what they doing, and they won, and then they won again. And then I got friends who live in Cincy, so they extra turn now, and I'm like, all right, okay, it's the conference championship, like dang, they won again, like wow. Now I'm like, bro, now I got friends sending me Snapchats of them like in downtown Cincinnati, just like super excited, turned about what's going on. I'm like, all right, I'm really just locked in on what's going on now. And now they obviously played in the Super Bowl and fell a little short.
So what was it like lining up against the Bengals wide receiver core when you rookies and veterans started working together this past week?
Yeah, we ain't really lined up against them just yet. So I can't speak on that just yet. We just been a lot of just
A lot of
like
individual drill.
yeah, individual drills, O&D split type of formation adjustments type of things.
So it's phase 2, right? It's still the learning part of it. You're out in the field with your assistant coaches, but it's not any team concept yet. It's still breakdown by position groups and individual drills.
Yeah, position group, and then we'll come together as like a whole defensive unit and just go over like different calls, different checks, different formations, kind of just like a teach tempo almost.
But not line up offense against defense, just basically one side of the football. You guys haven't really integrated yet. Offense one side of the field, defense literally other side of the field, and that's the way it goes, huh?
Yeah, yep, that's what we've been doing so far.
All right. Well, it's going to be training camp's going to come upon you quickly. There's no question about that. And
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
that's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right.
You know, gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out firststarlogistics.com.